If someone has no place to go from a young age where they feel safe enough to explore their inner and outer worlds, they may go through life feeling lost and making poor decisions. How can someone have the slightest idea of what is good for them or what feels right if they were never given the opportunity to experience what that feels like? I realize I have judged people for making life harder on themselves or those around them. I have judged those who I can sense are not being authentic. I assumed that by the time someone was an adult, they could make their own decisions and change the way they do things. But now I see how deeply we can be affected by our environment and the people surrounding us. We are more malleable than we would like to believe. I heard that if someone was raised in complete darkness from the time they were born and then brought into the light at age 10, they would have become blind because their eyes never learned to see. If that is true, then can we ever expect someone's intellect, emotions, and sense of self to fully develop if they were never allowed to? Whether this might pertain to you or someone you love or even a stranger, I feel it's immensely useful to understand ourselves and others on a deeper level. It is the best chance we have at cultivating true compassion and also some useful tools to overcome burdens and barriers. We have only one Earth, and yet we have almost 8 billion humans, each with their own perception of reality. We always have to remind ourselves that we only know what it means to have our brain, our emotions, our experiences. It is difficult enough to fully understand ourselves, and yet it will always be beneficial to attempt to walk in someone else's shoes for a moment. We may never really get it because it will always be our mind in that different pair of shoes, but having the intention of viewing life from outside of ourselves is humbling and sheds some light into the dark places of our ego. Once we become a safe place within ourselves, we can more naturally be that safe place in which others can explore what it means to be themselves as well. As we stifle, resist, and repress all that we find unappealing inside ourselves, we inadvertently do the same with our most interesting, beautiful, and creative aspects as well. If we are not free to discover and express who we truly are, then we are only half alive. I want to live in a society rich with curiosity and passion. Maybe then people would stop being afraid of freedom. Freedom is only frightening to those who don't know what to do with it, or to those who fear what others are capable of doing with it. Neither of those problems would exist if we all prioritized making one another feel welcomed and supported on this planet. Instead, we compete, judge, ridicule, and distrust one another while claiming that we want peace. We assume, label, pressure, and pull each other down in a myriad of ways. It's almost as if the world is saying to us, I dare you to be happy. If the game of life is truth or dare, my advice is to both tell the truth and take that dare.